All right, now that we're pretty much everybody's done presentation, we want to just move forward with the rest of today's activities. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce again Mr. Bill Jarts. These are interviews with some of the members that we have some of. So nobody's being put on the spot. They were told beforehand that they're going to be interviewed. They agreed to it. So. But at this time, Bill, the floor is yours.
I'm going to grab this meeting. Relax. Hopefully a lot of coffee or not, you may be falling asleep, although I will look at it. I know what you're all thinking, for God's sakes, we waited 100 years for this? You know what I'm saying? Sit tight for a minute there, kid. We'll get you going to be right out of the truth. I got a story to tell about you too, Norman. You remember this story from many, many, many years ago. But first off, let me say thank you for inviting me to be with this special day. This truly is a big deal. I mean, it really is. 100 years to keep something like this going. It's not like just going, but it's very, very strong. A lot of crossover between the Vietnam we were talking about it before, because you realize the importance of what you represent and the great things you do have done for a country, continue to do going forward. So let me first say thank you for your wonderful service to this great country. We have some awards, but we're still the best thing going in the world. So thank you again for doing what you've done. Andre, I got to say hello to you real quick. Thanks for stopping out, sharing part of your day here today with us. Now, it's tradition when you do these things, you're supposed to tell a couple of jokes, or at least attempt to tell jokes. So, Pat Van Grohl sent this to me, by the way. Yeah, he got a lot of free time on his hand, like I said, must be what he's doing here, but so they got a book selling company conducting a marketing survey, asked the woman, which book has helped you the most in your life? And she said, my husband's checkbook. Prospective husband in a bookstore, do you have a book called Husband, the Master of the House? And the salesgirl said, certainly, sir. You'll find that under fiction and comics on the first floor. Someone asked an old man, even after 70 years, you still call your wife honey, darling, lovey. What's the secret? He goes, I forgot her name and I'm afraid to ask her what it is. You know what I'm saying? And here's the last one, the best one right here. Husband and wife, today's a fine day. Next day he says, today is a fine day. And the next day again he says, today is a fine day. And she said, well, honey, what's going on here? You keep saying today's a fine day. Well, why do you keep doing that? She said, well, since last week you've been saying today's a fine day, and then I'm wondering what's going on. He said, well, last week we had an argument, and you said, I will leave you one fine day. Got that out of the way. You got a couple of chuckles on that, you know what I mean? Van Grohl, he's good with all that stuff, you know? He's got all that stuff stashed away there. Anyway. All right. Are you ready? Come on up and see it. We're going to get Norm up here right away, who's by the way 95 years old, going to be 96 in just a couple of months, in August, right? Come on up, my friend. We'll get you situated here. You can sit in the chair over there. I'm going to tell you a quick story about Norman here. Norman said, you were here a while back. You can have that one. He said, you gave a speech was about many, many years ago, and I remember that. And he said, that speech about a shrimp. Oh my God. When I was in Wausau, just starting out, the Holiday Inn in Stevens Point had won a national award, one of the best Holiday Inns in the country. So they would come on over, they invited the meeting. Well, that time I'm making less than $10,000 a year, so I'm hungry. Anytime you get a free meal, you go. So I go to this thing, and they got this big ice sculpture full of shrimp, nice big shrimp. So I see the little plates, like the little tiny plates, like the serving plate, and then I see the big supper plates. Hey, Billy don't know. Billy got the big supper plate, go heaps that thing up. Grab that thing, come back, sit down, start eating, and people are like, oh my God, what's he doing? Fast forward 10 years later, we're in Lapland, Paper Valley Hotel, having dinner with some friends. Same kind of deal, big ice sculpture, shrimp, scoop them up, come back, sit down, start eating, and thing. My wife goes, "Ah! What are you doing?" I said, "I'm eating shrimp." "For God's sakes, man, you gotta peel them." I didn't know. I grew up in Clintonville, for God's sakes. We didn't have shrimp. When you see that little deal, the commercials on the Red Lobster, they just dip them in the red sauce and eat them, right? So that's what I was doing. I gotta tell you, the next morning, a rather interesting experience, though, if you know what I mean. He remembered that story. I can't believe it. I'll tell you what, Norm, thanks so much. You just made my day when you did that. All right, let's get on to old business here if we can. Tell us about your service. What made it special for you to be in the service?
I didn't.
When you were in service, what was special?
Well, I took orders and I found out you don't sense back. I don't know. I think I got along pretty good. I come out all right. So I don't know. They wanted to keep me out of service. My mother did. And I told her, I said, I know one young guy all set up on the farm. I said, he was going good. All of a sudden he gets that invitation. You get rid of your livestock and everything. You got so many days after that you report to training camp. So I told my mother, I said, well, why should I go through all that worry and stuff and lose out on it anyway? I said, I might just as well go in the service. You know, I'm kind of glad I did. When I went into service, they were still fighting in Germany. And they sent me home after my training. They sent me home. We're on furlough. And after my furlough, I had to go down to Texas. I don't know if it was a check the sand out there or what, but that's what all I see down there. Well, I was there maybe a couple of weeks. We get a notice, go to California. Yeah, I thought, here's where I go out. So a couple of weeks' time, we get a notice, go up to Oregon. Well, I got to see the West Coast. Went to Salt Lake. I see where that was. And I was up there maybe a couple of weeks too. And I went up to Oregon. And I was up there maybe, like I say, a couple of weeks. And all of a sudden they dropped that big bomb on Japan. Oh boy. Oh dear, it's the old leader. To get the notice. Back down to California. then it was out. We went over in convoy. I don't know where they found those little ships to send us over with. But we hit every wave that you could find out there. It took about 3 days out on the water before the chow line started to fill up. Yeah, that was one of them. It felt pretty good then. And took us a month to get over. I ended up in Luzon. That's main island in the Philippines. Right around, I landed up close to Manila. We got off the boat. They told us in the morning, they don't be surprised you see MPs come through, picking out Japanese prisoners. They were coming out of the mountains and hitting the chow line in the morning. I think they were pretty hungry. Another thing, they told us, they get over there, they got, it was bananas, the coconut. They said there's plenty of it. You can buy that stuff and eat it. But they say if you do, eat it separately. Don't mix them up. Otherwise, the line in front of the train is pretty long. You know, we didn't want to believe them, but we had to prove it. They were right.
When did your father serve? What role did that play in you getting involved in the military?
I didn't hear it.
I was talking to your daughter, Wendy. A question for Wendy.
Over the years, we've been involved with different events that the Legion had that Dad came out for, and the pancake and porky breakfast and different things that they had at the Legion, and the chicken bouillon dinners and lots of different events that they had out here. And I've kind of said over the years, Dad's been a mentor as far as getting involved in things that he did, whether it was the volunteer work that he did back in Kakana or going into service. I think that was part of the reason why I did go when I did.
In the Legion, what does it mean to both of you? Post 363.
This is like the family. His dad, my grandfather, Hugo Sangbush, was a member of the post before Dad started. So there's been a member of the Sangbush family as a post member out here. What would you say, Dad? Grandpa joined out here early. Did Grandpa join in the early 30s? What year did Grandpa join?
I don't know, I never found out.
I'm gonna guess around 90 years out of the 100, there's been a Sangbush in the post.
Joined the Legion. About the time that the Legion started up. That time, you know, I never could really figure out we were overseas and everything together. Well, we took training together, we fought over there. Come home, you got two groups of guys. One organization here and another one there. And they didn't get along. That was, I don't know.
You're talking between the VFW and the American Legion.
Yeah, it was like two different people. I really never could figure it out, because we were buddies overseas and everything, and come home, one guy goes here and the other guy goes there, they don't hardly talk to each other. It didn't seem right. And I'm glad that the two organizations right now are friendly and get along good together. Thank God for that. Amen.
Thank you so very, very much. All right, there we are. Norman and Wendy, thank you so very, very much. That's all I want to say, people. Good job. Going to be up next, but before we get to that point now, we have a little trivia here. I'm supposed to figure now the committee members now not eligible to get this because you know the answers already. So here we go. Raise your hand. Whoever gets it first is going to get a little prize here. Now, what month and year did the Denmark American Legion Post 363 form? Month and year. Month and year. Ooh. Who said that? June 23rd year?
I literally said it.
And you got it. A WBAY action to do There's more where that came from. All right, here we go. What is the current membership of Post 363 number-wise? We need to know yes. Correct, my friend. Correct. Sheriff. Now here's the deal. There's a story behind that pencil off. He said, coverage you can count on. That used to be our logo and our motto. But now we're the first alert station, so this belongs in the museum. Cherish it. Cherish it. Put it on your will. I give my action to do coverage you can count on pencil to whatever. There you go. Perfect. Exactly right. And now, I need to ask you two real quick. Open up to everybody. What is the deal with this 50-50 thing? I heard it's rigged. Is it rigged or not? No. It's not? No. You don't think so? That's exactly right. Why do you think it's not rigged?
Well, yeah.
Because he runs it, but anyway.
You have to get in it, but I don't play it, so I never win it, so that's...
You think it's rigged? Now, where's the guy up there been winning a little? Where did he go now? The guy's been winning here recently. Where did he hide out? He's right here.
Winner, chicken dinner.
What do we got here now? What's your secret? Well, you just gotta live right, that's all. You know, people over here, folks. Yeah, I'll tell you. Oh. You pull the winners always, do you? Here's what I'll give you a little tip here, kiddo. You know, for like $20, you see, I'll make you a winner, you know what I'm saying? You'll self-fund your own college education, I'm telling you right now. Good deal. All right, now, let's get Mark Shirley up here. Mark, come on up here. Mark's in Vietnam with the Marines, I guess.
Oh, you poor thing.
Come on up, my friend. Sit on my Uncle Bill there. Is there a microphone there?
Okay.
Here we go. Remember, treat this thing like an you think I like. You think I like. Actually, told me that down in Northwestern. I thought, holy smokes, there's a lot of money to pay for somebody to like an ice cream cone. Anyway, thanks for coming out today. Let's talk about the Legion involvement first. So why? Why the Legion? Why did you show up? Why did you move? It's such a big part of your life.
Well, I'll tell you why I joined. When I got out of the service, 78, I joined the Polish Legion of American Veterans, Poland Post, where I live in Poland. The guy who started that whole thing, Cy Blahowiak, encouraged me and other members to join the Legion. He said, I don't care if you ever go to a meeting, you should join the Legion, because when numbers come up before Congress, they have the numbers to get whatever veterans might need, whatever the bill might be. So that's the reason I joined.
You were in the service in the Vietnam era,
Yep.
in the Marines. Tell us about your, how did the military change you? You're a young guy going in, now you come out. What's the difference between the guy that went in and the guy that came back?
You know, I kind of always explained it this way. I went in at 18, right out of high school. I got out at 22, and I couldn't believe when I got out how smart my dad got. I would tell people, he must have read a lot of books while I was gone. I think I grew up a lot, you know, and I wasn't, I would say it this way, I wasn't what most people think of as a Marine. I was a court reporter. I shot.
Which means, what does that mean?
That means court martial, mostly special courts martial or general courts martial, which is considered a federal court. I was the person who typed the whole courts martial up. I recorded all the words said and then typed it all up, making a federal record of it, yeah.
And how did that help you coming out when you came on? You said your dad got smart, but what about you? Is it besides him getting smarter?
I hope I gained a little bit of knowledge there, but I think it teaches you a little bit, first of all, in that job, how, in the military, discipline is a very important thing, as everybody who is in the military would know. And that's what my part of the job was, enforcing, you know, the rules and regulations. I think it made me feel part of a team, because there was a bunch of us that did the same thing. Yeah. And the hard part probably how to get along with lawyers.
You tell me how that works out sometime when we get a little more time here. Is there one person or experience that you remember from that? I mean, when you think back in your service.
Well, there was probably a couple of them, and both had to do with the job. Which way should I go? I think I took a case, part of a case when I was in Okinawa, stationed in Okinawa for a year, and it was a case of two Marines in a bar, hard to believe, having an argument over whose quarter was up next on the pool table. So one of them said, well, we'll go outside and settle it. Like, I guess that's the way you're supposed to do that. One of them pulled a knife, the other guy ended up dead. So the Japanese, at that time, we had just given Okinawa back to the Japanese. So this happened in the Ville. Japanese said, we don't want to have anything to do with this. That's your guy. You guys take care of that. So he came in. The part that I reported, they made what was called a USB Catlow motion, which means that he got in the service illegally, given the answers to the test, whatever it might. It was recruiter misconduct, and that motion was granted. So the Marine Corps had no jurisdiction over this guy. We had to let him go. So he went back. He was given back to the Japanese. He was 20 years old. Japanese law said you're not an adult till 21. He was considered juvenile, and he was found guilty and given 1 year, and then he was done. So.
What a night-on-waiting experience for a guy that's in his 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people out there, or maybe some not the folks in here, because obviously they bought in. Guy walks up to you and says, should I join the Legion? What are you going to tell him?
Yes. This Legion in particular is pretty unique, I think. It's amazing how many people help. I've never seen where there's a shortage of volunteers for anything. And there's so many projects, I couldn't even name them all. I'm involved with the concession stand by the ballpark a little bit, the brat fries, things like that. And I was on the committee planning this. There's always something to be involved with. And it's just a great group of people. Everybody gets along, and it's fun.
So Should be the bottom line, right? Yeah. Anything you'd like to add?
I don't know,
When you look out and you see the faces,
now,
yeah, I got a feeling there's a smile coming to your face when you see them.
well, they're just such good people to work with, and I consider them all friends. And it's just amazing how, I've been involved in different groups already where you can't hardly do anything because nobody will help out, nobody will go to meetings. We average, I don't know, 35, 40 people at a meeting, and I've heard the one in Green Bay, who's a way bigger post, gets like 8 or something, 6, 8 people. It's just a really involved post. It's pretty cool to be a member.
You need to get up and run the 50-50 in Green Bay. Okay? We'll get the membership up right away. Thank you for your service. Thanks for joining us here today. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Oh, who's my next victim? Oh, it's not that bad, is it? You didn't have any sweat bullets coming down your forehead. I gotta really work this guy over. Can you spot me $20 maybe? Kidding it up. Let's get Wes Prohaska up here, a Navy man. You got here? Come on, Wes. So you. Oh, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll take care of the jokes here, so you can sit down. I'll take care of the jokes. You have a seat over there. All right, turn up the lights. I'm gonna grill this guy.
All right, Tom.
It's all right. I ready to get my bill for this one, so that's what holy smoke. Robert, you want to come back up here? I want to get rid of this guy right here. This is a crazy guy. I said beware of those Navy guys, and it's so true again. All right, Wes. Tell me your life story. Why are you here today sitting here so proud of this 100th celebration of this Legion Post?
Well, besides a free meal.
We knew that was coming.
Well, I'm the post adjutant, so I kind of basically run the organization. Well, I'm the secretary, and what do secretaries do but run the company? CEO is nobody, so. But anyways, yeah, this is a fun group. I've been adjutant now for 7 years, going on 8. And I was looking at retiring from it, but they say I'm doing too good of a job, nobody wants to take my place. So I'm here for a long haul. But that's basically it.
Everybody talks about chemistry within this group, and that's not just the folks who've been up here, right? But I mean, people when you talk, it's just a fun bunch. It's a good group. Why is that? Well, what's the chemistry? What's the link there?
Well, our meetings only last about an hour, so it's nothing that really gets too boring. But I mean, we joke around a lot. We got a great bunch of guys, even though, Marines, well, we love Marines in, but,
His words, not mine, just so you know.
What did he say about
We're
Marines?
for the Marines. If it wasn't for us, they couldn't go anywhere. But as we joke around a lot, like you hear now, and we're just a great bunch of guys. I mean, I have their back, they got our back. I mean, it's just, you couldn't ask for any better group of people than our American Legion Post. And we're growing. Right now, we're kind of stuck at 116. We got a lot of transfers from other posts that they don't like what their post is doing, so they come to our post because we're active. We have run the concession stand Monday through Thursday for boys baseball, girls softball. We get broad prize. We have our yearly raffle. We're just active in, we try to give back to the community as much as we can. because the community supports us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to build a brand new clubhouse and give us the money to offer scholarships to the students, and stuff like that. So, if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't be opposed.
Boy, and to the effect about the new clubhouse, so that's a dramatic improvement over what it was. I remember I've been to a number of your pancake and porky feeds there on Palm Sunday, and that little place, that is the steepest stairway I think I've ever been on in my life. I mean, you were going down there the last time, nobody ever came back down there. A lot of dead bodies down there. But what is that? It's on, yeah. Well, we buried it with the excavator, don't worry about that, that's a little secret, okay? What happened to your stage there, right? But symbolically, I think that's kind of a neat thing though too, because it kind of brought everybody together, and I think there's a real sense of pride. When you walk in that building, you go, wow, this is very nice.
Yeah, well, this is a brand new building. I mean, it still echoes a lot, so we're trying to deaden sort of, cement floor and the ceiling. It has a little echo, but yeah, it's bigger. It's one floor. It's now handicap accessible. Our auxiliary can also hold their meetings, and they hold it in the kitchen area. We have a bigger room. It's a lot easier, and it's a lot safer than trying to go down them steps.
Go back and talk about your service in the military. What did you do? What did you learn? How did you change over the years because of it?
Mine was really rough duty. It was really terrible. Did boot camp at Great Lakes in middle of January. No hair. Then you get white stove pants, you get nice cold, and you start talking an octave or two higher. After that, went to San Diego for radio and A school, and I was a radio operator. I got my duty, all of a sudden I get my orders, and it says Com Sub Plot 5, Pearl Harbor. I was like, what the hell is that? So I'm asking, officers around here, what is this? That's good duty, that's good duty. I finally told one officer, this is good duty. I said, hell, good duty, what the hell is it? And he says, well, it's staff duty. So I'll get there. I was radio operator for submarine base. So my particular job was communicating with our submarine force that was in the Pacific. And I was also a replacement radio operator in case one of the radio operators on the sub had to go on leave or wasn't able to go on patrol. I got to go to the right subs. After that, then I got a destroyer out of Pearl Harbor. It's the worst tin can you could ever get on. We went to basically all the ports that we were supposed to. We spent more time in the yards getting fixed than anywhere else. We had, as being a radio operator, I knew our orders before the commander did. We had orders to escort a carrier to Vietnam. I was like, yeah. Nope. Went to the shipyard, and we lost on that one. We had orders to go to Australia. I said, yeah, I'm going to be a shellback. Shellback my ass. We were in the harbor, in the shipyards. And I'm like, this is awesome. And now it's a fish aquarium off the coast of Pearl Harbor. Took it out there and they finally sunk the damn thing. But other than that, I made a Westpac cruise. I was in Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, all that, but never saw any action that I thought I was going to see. But otherwise, it was a fun time. If I had to do it all over, I'd do it again. So, And being a sailor is the best thing. It's like Norm was saying too when he was in Philippines. They told us not to drink too much of the beer. The San Miguel. I'm from Wisconsin, man. Milwaukee, rawr. So we hammered them down. Oh yeah.
I was a latrine, but
I had what they call Montezuma's revenge. And that lasted for about 5-6 days. Now I know why they say don't drink too much San Miguel. So, yeah, that was one of my favorite memories.
anything else you'd like to share with the crowd today?
That's about it. I think my time is up.
Well, we got another Marine coming over to bail you out in a minute anyway. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, the trivia need to take care of. I think we got that all taken care of, right? House form, membership, 50-50 round. Oh! I knew I had another pencil in it. I didn't know what that was for. Now I know. Again, committee members excluded. Here we go. Who, can you name the longest serving commander of Post 363? Longest serving commander? No. No. Doctor? You're hung up about that bar thing, aren't you? Come on, think about a famous name right down the road here. No? Yes. Dr. Frank Hager, 19 years, right over here. Sheriff said, my friend. Sometimes when I drive to these things, I chew on them, but this one looks pretty well intact. Crucial up here. Where? Crucial. Mike, right next door. Belly up here, my man. How are you? Good to see you, bud. Have a seat. Grab a microphone there. Crucial, we got it. The Persian Gulf. Tell me how you got from here, or wherever home was when you were a kid, to the Persian Gulf, and brought you back here. Tell us the story.
I was not in the Persian Gulf. I was in during that. Yeah, we was in 8 years. I was supposed to get out in January, then they didn't let anybody out, so nobody's going anywhere, so they took half of us, and they shipped out, and I was scheduled to go in a couple months later, so we shipped our family back and everything. Put us back and we're gonna go, and then the war was actually better than they expected, so I got canceled, and I was pretty much a babysitter and training reservist for a couple months. And during that, but I saw when, before that, you're thinking, well, you're all like 18, 20 years old, and you're all screwing around, drinking beer, and having a good time. You're thinking, oh my God, I hope nothing really happens, because we're in trouble. But when that happened, that was the most finely tuned machine. We packed up squadrons, we packed up units, and it was within days, boom, 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 they were gone. And we learned that there's a reason for all of these stupid exercises that you do that make no sense at all. And as history shows, that paid off. It was probably one of the most successful military campaigns in history.
It's a moment of pride for you, wasn't it? I mean, to see this thing unfold the way it did.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things change during that time, actually. Well, take advantage of the time. Before that, where I was, we had a lot of extra duties. So we'd go out and we did a lot of things like funeral details. So we got 9 Marines in full dress blues. We didn't really blend in. And there was once for sure, maybe twice, we did it. And someone was yelling at us and giving us the finger. And we're thinking, that's like Vietnam era stuff. It's like we're all like, I was born like 65, and we're all within the same range. We weren't patrolling the jungles in our huggies. It was a little bit it wasn't our generation. And then the Gulf War broke out. And all of a sudden, the country said, we gotta treat these guys better. And we were. And the people that drove that, and anyone from that time forward has been treated good. And you can thank your Vietnam vets, because you guys did that. You guys changed the culture. And I saw that during the time. And you're the group that was fought the hardest and got treated the worst. But you made it best for all of us. Because we were treated like royalty, no matter what your job was. You can all be proud of that. Yeah, it's a big transition.
The Legion. You see the numbers, 363 in your shirt, and
Yeah.
you see these guys are these great things. Are these guys just blowing smoke, or is this the real deal?
I'm still kind of a fool, but from what I've seen, it's the real deal. I think any given day, there's somebody's doing something for the community, but they don't toot their horn about it, they don't say, look at what we're doing, you just do it. And I haven't noticed that until I joined. Somebody's always doing something for the community, or for other veterans, be it the concession stand, raising money, the hospice program, the list goes on. I'm still learning it, but every day, someone from this post is doing something.
Why did you agree to join? Because, listen, meetings are short, and they seem to get along well, but they're still, you've got plenty of things to do, I'm sure, on your plate and on your table, what you could do, but yet you chose to join the Legion. So make a commitment to it.
Well, in the past couple of years, we've seen things on TV and in the news that just kind of make any veteran kind of mad. You know, people saying it was terrible, but it's here, they don't have a clue. And I was on one of my rants one day, and my kid said, well, why don't you do something? I said, well, we do. We try to help veterans communities. He said, well, any idiot can write out a check. Why don't you do something? And that kind of hit home. So I went to a Brock Fry. There was handing out the pamphlets, and they were doing that stuff. I thought, you're right, I gotta actually do something. So I'm still learning. But what I've seen is a good group. It's a good organization.
Celebrating 100 years. What do you see it doing in the next, let's just say, 50 years? Can it survive? Can it thrive? Can it do what it's doing now, being a vibrant entity?
Absolutely. At this post, from what I've seen, there's a little bit of time I've been here. Like they said, there's people from other cities coming in, quitting their posts. There's something special with Denmark. I do a lot of the hospice stuff, and when we're doing like a penning ceremony, you'll see Denmark on your cap. And other groups from other cities, be it VFW, American Legion, they always make a comment about the Denmark veterans groups and how big they are and how they really stand out. So there again, that's something to be proud of because you're being noticed.
With Luncheon, we were sharing about a big part of what some of the guys up top here do is take part in the funeral processions and say the final goodbyes. How important is that, do you think, from a Legion perspective, to do that, to give, as you mentioned, some folks didn't get a lot of respect. And this is the final time to say goodbye to these people. How important is that?
It's very important. From what I've seen, when we did it when I was active duty, there it was all active duty. But you'd see the impact it has on families. That means something. You know, they'd be at a ceremony and they'd be going through the motions and do the 21 gun salute, but that first note of taps, that's when it hits the family. And you can tell what that really means a lot.
So to a friend of mine, he was not a real, he was never in the military. His kids never really struck me as being real military oriented. But when his father passed away, they did 21 gun salute. He'd been in the Air Force. And to see the value of those spent casings for those guys, the military gave them to them, and it was just so important for them to get one of those. To this day, they still cherish that. And they see how powerful, and something that you would never give a second thought to, it was so important to them.
Right. And some of the people have been out for 50, 60 years, but it still hits home with their family.
Final words for the folks here today.
I'm not emotional. I'm a terrible public speaker. That's why.
did a great job today, my friend. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being part of the 363. Thank you. My pocket's empty, but I don't have any more prizes to give away. And I think we only have, with 2 more speakers yet. We have a Deb and a Maddie. We're a Deb and Maddie. Again, Persian Gulf and the Marines. See, Mr. Navy guy. Or you, buddy, maybe go to the bathroom and then forget to come back. That's all I'm saying. You're outnumbered. And you pick the winners. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. Now, you're 9 years old. Is that right, 9 or 10? How old are you? 10. You're 10 already? Ooh, as old as he is. Mom, let's start with you. Deb, you were in the Marines, and let's start your military story first before we get to some of your interests today.
I guess mine was kind of short. I mean, it was 5 years, but I stayed in the country. I didn't do a whole lot. I learned a lot, though.
Such as?
I got to do a lot of reports together. I got to help other Marines push their packets through. I got to help.
Push their packets through, what does that mean to the folks who are not familiar with the military?
Like those that were requesting, one was requesting his driving privileges to be reinstated. Well, I had to help make sure he had all the proper paperwork. I had to call California, get everything from them, and then help it go up the chain of command to get him approved to be able to drive on base again. I had others where they were retiring, and I had to help make sure their cards were together for how their program was going to go. I had to make sure the flags got picked up and flown and certificates put together. So I learned a lot of like the back side of it with the paperwork.
Did you enjoy it?
I had ups and downs. There were some commands I didn't like, and there were others I loved.
Was it a personal thing? Were the people you work with were kind of creepy guys, or what?
They were just different. So I had units that literally the cohesion, and I earned the respect right away. And then there were other ones who the girls were petty, and if they could tear you down, they would. So then there'd be no real cohesion, and you kind of got left out.
But today, remember the Legion, which, let's face it, most of the guys are guys, and you're one of the girls. How does that work out?
With this post, I fit in perfect. Like, I'm basically one of the guys. I've been to about a couple of other posts that actually approached me, and because I'm a single mom, they physically told me either find a babysitter or don't come.
Oh.
I had Wes sitting at my grandparents' table, trying to get me to come to the meeting, trying to tell me, hey, we just got your transfer paperwork, come to our meeting. I flat out told him I don't think I'll ever come. And he's like, well, why? I go, I'm a single mom. My kid goes with me. I'm not gonna find somebody to babysitter when I wasn't in this area where I had family. I didn't have nobody to watch her. And he flat out told me, take her. Just bring her. Nobody cares, just bring her. And that's been the biggest push to come here. Because she literally, one of the first meetings, popped up at the front table, literally crawling around and just popped up, stopped the meeting, everybody laughed. And from that point on, they looked for her. Today she was later than I was to get here, and I had, I think, 12 people come up and ask where she was. She's a staple and part of the post, even though she's little.
It's a Maddie in the box. Up goes Maddie. Maddie, tell us about your experience with the Legion, and what's it like for you to come to these meetings with all these folks and all dressed in their white shirts and everything. Tell us about that. Why is it fun? You can give out the money, don't you? You become a real popular person. Do you really give out the money in the 50-50? Do you pick the winner? Do you really? Is there pressure when you do that? They don't? How does it work? I don't even know how that works. Tell me how the 50-50 thing works. Woman of few words. That is pretty neat that, again, it kind of goes back to the whole welcoming thing with this 363. You truly are one big family, aren't you?
Yeah.
What What does that mean to you? I mean, the fact that you served our country and now you're accepted again in a different group, in a different light, but still very much accepted.
To me, it's a place of belonging. Like, my first unit in the fleet was a place of belonging. Like, I earned the respect, I was one of the guys. Then, now, literally, Maddie's got like a bunch of grandpas, a bunch of uncles, and everybody either has eyes on her, knows where she is. Her candy grandpa, Norm, gets hugs and comes to see her and brings her candy and even bought her a raffle ticket.
She won the raffle.
One time, no.
Imagine that. Now, we're sure that ticket got in the hopper, that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm told that you guys like horses a little bit, man. Tell me about your interest in horses.
Tell me about your building. So maybe I'll come see you.
You have a horse? Do you have a horse? No, is it a pulling horse? There's a pull in Maribel this weekend. Will you be pulling the sled, or how does it, what do you do with the horse? I don't know.
You ride?
Did you ever fall off? You ever fall off? Does it hurt? It doesn't. You fall on gravel. I bet that hurts. Now, do you ride with a saddle or not? Bareback sometimes? That's got to be kind of scary. It's not? What do you hang on to? If you're pulling on a horse's hair, no wonder they're running fast. Huh? And what did you do this morning? You did what? You did that by yourself? And still made it here? In time for the meeting?
What'd you do this weekend? Where? Great Lakes Rodeo up in Glen, Michigan.
Went to a rodeo. So you compete then?
The drill team doesn't quite compete. They ride and kind of perform. They just started this year. They're riding in honor of. And what did you do for Carney Rodeo?
Princess. Well, we know that as soon as we saw you here, my friend. What do you like horses? Why do you like horses so much? A lot of kids your age have horses, I guarantee you that. And you feel very comfortable. You're not afraid of them? How do you treat them? Why don't they like kick you? You must be a good girl. I want to tell you a quick story. My Uncle Eddie had a horse. You mentioned gravel. And we were out, my Uncle Eddie, his daughter, and me were riding out that little Shetland pony, and they didn't have the saddle tightened down quite enough. So I'm riding along, and all of a sudden, I see her doing one of these, and I bail out on gravel, no less. Skin my knees up, and I'm to this day afraid of horses. So I'm really proud of what you can do. I really am. To wrap things up today, why should someone, you're talking to, let's talk to another female. Why do you, what's your sales pitch for this 3 operation?
It's kind of tough. I mean, I'm the post's first female, so like, I guess I've got a lot of pull in a way. The fact that it is an all-male post prior to me can be very intimidating to a female. My biggest pull is family. I mean, my daughter is completely open, welcome. She's been basically honorary member. She's basically expected to be everywhere. Somebody's always gonna take her and do something. They're gonna bring her candy, they bring her birthday presents. I think we sang happy birthday to her one year. She's just included. And if me as a single mom can have my child be included, any family, any other female, any single dads, it's supposed to be.
Thank you. Thank you both. Good luck with your horses there. Make sure you stay on and don't get your knees all scratched up. You know what I'm saying? Hmm? Manawa Rodeo, you go to Manawa Rodeo? Do you? That's my uncle lives over in Ogdensburg by Manawa. I went there all the time. That's 4th of July weekend, I think, isn't it?
Next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. Well, good luck to you there, kiddo. We'll be cheering for you, all right? Thank you both for your service for doing things. There you go.